Hello. Today I want to show you what I do sometimes when I'm colouring die cuts. I made this card at Christmas, well, before Christmas obviously, and I use these two die cuts. I think they're Sue Wilson. I absolutely love them. They've got a slight embossed vein going through them, and the stems are just so delicate. They look as if they can entwine through all sorts of things. I had to use a big card base for this one because the sentiment memory box is really quite big, but I was very pleased with the result in the end. So I'm going to show you what I did to achieve the sort of interesting colours, not plain flat colours on these die cuts. This is one I was fiddling around with this morning in sort of autumnal shades. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to arrange that, but I'll sort that out later. So here's what I've got. I'm going to use greens again, and I thought I'd try and arrange them this time in a portrait orientation like this, somehow or other, but we'll see. This is my panel for my front card, and I've already done the, again, it's a memory box sentiment, just to note. The top bit is stacked. There's a couple of white layers and a gold and just one plain carrier layer. So there we are. So here are my two die cuts, ivies. I love it. I don't like ivy to the smell when you cut it, but I do like the look of it. Anyway, that's beside the point. Let's have a go. Here I've got Shabby Shutter's Distress Oxide Ink, and what I'm going to do is dab a bit onto my glass mat. Quick spritz with water, that's absolutely fine. And then I'm going to have a little flap around, a little dab. That will do for that one. This one. Just have a little flap in the ink. That's fine. And now I'm going to wipe that away. Grab a baby wipe. There we go. And then I'm going to have a go with my next colour, which is peeled paint. Quick dab. It's quite good fun, this, really. You get really messy. The state of my fingers is dreadful. Right, a squirt of water. Pick up a leaf or two. That will do for that one. Oh, this one. Looks a bit uniform to me. We'll see what we can do about that in a minute. Comes out differently every time. I did do this once before. I'd got quite a long way through. Just about to say, here we are, this is what I've done. And my husband walked in asking me about household insurance. So anyway, there you go. He's gone now on his merry way. And a bit darker. Let's have a look at this one. Makes it quite interesting, the mix of the greens. Now you're asking yourself, what has she got those sponge daubers sitting there for? And this is what I do next with these. When you've had a look, sometimes they come out differently every time. It depends upon how much water you squirt on it, all the rest of it. So I'm going to add a bit more colour. And that's where the sponge daubers come in. I'm going to there we go. Can you see? Let me come in a bit closer. Right. Just add a bit more interest. think I'd like a bit more of this one. There we go. This is not as interesting as the one that my husband interrupted me with. Don't know what I did with them. Oh, here they are. These are the ones. Can you see? There's a bit more depth to them. But as I say, they come out differently every time. It doesn't really much matter what you do. Now, I'm just going to wipe my mat again, because I haven't quite finished with what I want to do. I'm going to just dry these off now, so there'll be a bit of noise. Sorry about this. Okay, now what I'm going to do to liven these up a little bit is use some of this stuff. It is Gilding wax from PBO. I don't know how you say it. PBO, I don't know. Gilding wax. And you need such a small amount. Just a dab on your finger, a dab on the mat, and then just drag. And this is where the fact that these leaves are slightly embossed, the gold drags across and it shows up that indentation a little more. There's no rhyme or reason about this. You just kind of dab it where you fancy, really. I think that looks all right. Let's try the other one. I put it onto the mat first because it's really quite intense, and if you take it from a pot straight to the project, you'll get a great blob, which is not always a good thing. So I put it on the mat first, and then I can take it from there. And if once it's on, it's on. Might as well do these that got interrupted earlier. There we go. See, I'm not taking any trouble, just, you know, it's not an artistic thing really, just dab it on. And it does look, well, I think it looks really quite nice. Pleases me. Right, there we go. We have some gilded ivy. My goodness me, how grand. So, quick wipe of the mat. I really need to wipe my fingers. I don't want to start trying to add this to anything until I've gone to wash my hands before I start putting them together. But here you see, you saw before, it looks very nice.
I'm not sure I understand.
Mr. Siri is having a go at me as well. Good gracious me. Made me jump. I can do it later. I don't want to mess about at the moment because I don't want to get dirty fingers on a clean card base. So anyway, that is colouring die cuts with Distress Oxide inks and a little water. So have a go. I'll finish the card and I'll put it on my blog, and I'll put it on Facebook so you can see it. Anyway, thanks for watching.